to look at your videos. We talk a lot about having a good title, having a good thumbnail, and having things going on the surface that get people to click into your content. But what we don't talk about enough is what happens once people are actually there. Once they're inside your videos, how are they feeling about them? If they've just come in off of the street, they saw a title, they saw a thumbnail, did that click pay off? We're going to be talking about that and all kinds of things today in relation to that on our last live stream of 2022. So if you're here live, say hello in chat. Let us know what number of subscribers you're hoping to achieve in 2023. Let us know, or your YouTube goals. If you don't want to talk about subscribers, let us know in chat right now your YouTube goals for 2023. We would love to hear them. And then if you are watching this after the fact, let us know that same information in the comments. I said us because I'm not alone. Let's start with Viper. Viper's here today. How's it going?
Oh yeah, baby. Look, we back. It is our last live stream of 2022. Dan, I can't believe we got here this quickly, but we're here. So we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna review some videos, take some questions, and we're gonna bring in the new year right. We're gonna do it big today. So I'm glad to be here, Dan. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here, and also thank you to Jeff for being here as well.
What's up, everyone?
How are you, Jeff? Are you excited about the new year? What's your goal for 2023?
My goal for 2023? Well, if we're talking about my channel, just hoping to grow the business, hoping to improve income on the channel and maybe add an additional revenue stream. And next year, sometime in 2023, we will be hitting 100,000 subscribers on the channel. So
Nice.
Should have a silver play button sometime next year.
Where's it going?
Most likely it's going to go here. Originally it was going to go here, but I got this hand painting of me and my wife, so I'm going to put that right up here. So a silver play button be back here.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're excited for you, Jeff. So I'm only stalling because I actually need to adjust a couple of settings here in the live stream. As one does. I am excited for your play button, and I do want to know where it's going to go. But also, I did have to stall for a minute, but we're good now. Why don't we go ahead and tell everyone how this is going to work? So, there are two forms linked in the description below. There is one for non-gaming channels, and there's one for gaming channels. So please be sure to fill out the correct form. And then once you do that, sit back and relax, because you might be randomly picked for your videos to be seen by us, and we'll give our thoughts on them. We clear this form every single week. So if you did not submit yet, but you submitted last week, you'll need to submit again. That is how this works. So we've gone ahead and picked a few channels ahead of time. And these are channels that submitted on the form first, before anyone else. So the first one's a non-gaming channel. And they asked us for some advice on getting into these extra long videos they're doing. I thought this was going to be a pretty interesting one. This might go into channel audits a little bit, because what they're asking us kind of zooms out a little bit from their actual content. But they make these roughly 2-hour videos of their D&D campaign. So it's them and their friends playing D&D, and they feel as though the regular tips we give don't necessarily work. So I thought challenge accepted, and I went ahead and grabbed their channel first. So this is Forge of Lore. They have 137 subscribers, and as promised, we're getting 2-hour podcast-style videos on D&D. So I thought we would watch just a couple minutes of one, and then maybe give our thoughts about a strategy for a channel like this, because it is going to be a bit different than some of the other ones I think that we talk about.
Listen, you give me. I'm reaching back there. You give me your McNuggets. No McNuggets for you. Give me that. Give me your fucking McNuggets. Don't you shove them in your mouth. You are in so much trouble. Let me get a hold of you.
I don't even care. I don't even care. Shut up.
Oh, hi! Welcome to Forge of Lore, where we tell stories through Dungeons and Dragons. You know what? No babbling this time. We're in the middle of a fight, so let's get to it and play some D&D. Roll it.
So that was the first 30 seconds. It looks like we have a branded intro now. Just mute it. I would say this branded intro is a bit long, but well animated. I want to see, so there's a recap as well. So they've broken this out into chapters. Let's break this down for a minute. So they have a cold open, which is just like a scene from probably in the middle of the show somewhere. They have their welcome, which we just saw. They have the, oh, I see. Interesting. The intro, I think we're up to 33 seconds. So we're actually to the recap now. The recap is a little over a minute long. So this is, if you didn't watch the previous ones, I assume You watch that, and then the battle continues at 2:18.
All right, let's load you into the map here. Let me just calling all players.
Why? I go before the fire giant, though.
Yeah, he does.
That's good, but
What's
also
the,
gonna use-
is the fire giant? Does it?
So this is probably the meat of the content now. They're playing the game. They're communicating with one another. Viper, how about you start? Let's get your thoughts on everything we just seen.
Where does Viper begin? So that cold open, for what this video is trying to do over the long term, that cold open didn't really do anything for me. Now, I don't really have a problem with comedy, especially in these longer types of videos, because you have to do something to engage the viewer for as long as humanly possible. But if you're telling me you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you come out with a cold open with y'all talking about chicken nuggets and stuff, I mean, as a viewer, I'm like, I don't know if this is what I signed up for when I clicked on the video. So I think I was a little taken aback by that cold open. So I think I will probably do things a little differently. And I thought it was interesting when you went to the timestamp in the description and where the introduction was like 30 seconds in, and then the recap was 50. Like, I think you might want to do a little bit of a reshuffle with how you got this set up. But yeah, I would say you might want to rework that cold open. I'm not going to say you don't need to get rid of it, but I just think you need to think about how you do that in the future. Because again, when I click on the video as a viewer, I want to know that I'm in the right place, and I just didn't get that from the cold open.
What about you, Jeff? We've seen a bit now. I definitely agree on the cold open too. I was a bit confused, but I understood what I was watching. I kind of knew what we were getting into ahead of time. I don't know if everyone else would. Jeff, beyond that, what are you seeing?
I mean, for me personally, I'm in agreement with Viper on that, and I probably would have this video start where that recap is. So, because it feels like 57 seconds worth of not really confirming the title or thumbnail. Like we're taking a lot of time to get to where the story starts. So that's just me personally. I mean, it is a 2-hour video, so hopefully when somebody's going to watch this, they are willing to make that time commitment. But the sooner that you can sort of serve that to them without wasting a lot of time, for me would be probably the move. So restructuring that opening, that takes time. You know, we have to be willing to kill our darlings. And it used to take me a minute and a half to get into the actual meat and potatoes of my own content in my videos. To where, you know, at the lowest, I've got it down to 7 seconds, but it usually hovers somewhere between 18 and 30 seconds. So, I think if they can speed that up a little bit, because we're talking about a minute to get to the recap. So everything that happens before that is just, what is it doing? What is it telling me? Right. And I probably would have clicked off by then. Mm-hmm. So, or, you know, I might have just gone to the chapters, being that I know how they operate, and skipped to the right, to the area that I want to see. Right. Maybe I'm already familiar with it. Or if I'm not, I would have skipped to the recap.
Yeah. I agree on all those points, and I'm just trying to think of the more overarching strategy for this channel going forward, because they're putting in a lot of time, a lot of effort into these videos, a lot of effort into the artwork, and they're getting like 15 views, you know, and that's got to be really, really frustrating. Zooming out on the channel as a whole, I feel like the first thing I'd be doing is looking at similar channels like this, but the most successful ones, and trying to discern what they're doing differently that you're not doing. And that I'm going to talk about titles and thumbnails for a second. I think in this case, having episode numbers somewhere is important, because this is a concurrent campaign. The story is building over a very long period of time, and I would just expect this from this type of channel. Having those episode numbers somewhere visible makes sense. Do you need them in both the title and the thumbnail? Maybe not, especially if you have an idea for a thumbnail that is more interesting than just someone's face and a number and then the name of the campaign. I think these need to be leveled up in some way. And again, look to these other channels. There's one in like the tip of my tongue. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? There's a D&D group. They're really big on Twitch, and I'm sure they have a YouTube presence as well. They've been around for a while. Let me know in chat if you guys know of the biggest D&D channels you can think of. I wish I could remember the name of this one, but if we find it.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea, so I can't tell you off the top of my head.
I mean, you ask me about D&D, I'm going to tell you Stranger Things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so there are other channels that are doing this, and I would encourage you to go and look for those channels. High Rollers D&D. That's not the one I was thinking of, but let's see. High Rollers D&D. Okay, 109,000 subscribers. Hello. Different setup here, actually. So we have everybody in the same room, which is going to give them a competitive edge in terms of film production. they are doing similar titles where they just kind of take the name of the campaign and a number and then something a bit vague here. I kind of wonder who's behind this channel. Maybe there's some personalities here that are kind of propping this channel up. Maybe their Twitch presence is really big, because I would say these thumbnails are better, but as an outsider looking in, there's nothing in here bringing me into this content still. Let's see. Looking at others in the chat here. Critical Role, that's the one I was thinking of. Thank you. So this one, they're almost at 2 million subscribers. And again, I think it's a more in-person production. Level up bells, hells, roll hit points for level 8. Interesting. I would say they're doing more with their titles here, but some of these feel a lot more community-based than others. Anything you guys are seeing that would be a big difference from the channel we were looking at to these more successful ones? Or no?
I think for these type of channels, I think it's really going to depend more about the actual content itself. And I think we pretty much, although we only watched like a few seconds of the video, but I think we've already given them a few things to think about as far as actual content, actual quality, or the composition of the content. So I think they can take that and run with it.
Yeah, definitely a very curious type of channel that we've seen here, and I do kind of wonder. For my last bit of advice here for a Forge of Lore, I kind of wonder if some of the personalities in this group can help bring eyes to it. Everybody who's on this live stream or this in this group, if they have a Twitch presence, if they have a different YouTube presence, they should be plugging this every so often, not constantly, but every so often. Hey, if you're interested in D&D, I'm over here on this channel, and that could be a good way to start something like this. This is going to be a rather niche audience. And the last idea that I had is, if you're not doing it already, perhaps these should be live streams, and perhaps then you can continue making the shorts you're making, which actually some of them not doing too bad here. Maybe these would stand out better though in that format. I think for people are still going to watch them after the fact, right? But you could introduce yourselves to a whole new audience that's looking for this experience, but live. I don't know. So that could be one thought. Yeah.
It's a little rough to get into it. Let's say for myself, right? I'm not familiar with the game. I'm not familiar with the gameplay, at all for the most part. So I'd be a complete noob. This would be, because they're already in the middle of something, it wouldn't work for me. Like as a viewer, like if I landed this, it got suggested to me, it wouldn't work for me. Now, that's not to say that they don't have content that would be for me, but if you're aiming only at the experienced players, it's also making the pool smaller of people who are going to be willing to watch this. So that's one thing that I would give thought to. Like I said, I don't know if that's something that they've already done, but even having content around introducing it to people who don't know what it is, something like D&D for beginners, that type of content where you can really make it more accessible to people like myself, I think would be a good way to introduce people that could entice them into watching more of your other content. But that's just a thought. Like I said, I don't know if that's something that they already do, but just from looking at the page, from what we're seeing here, we're already in the middle of a match, and I have no idea what is happening.
Yeah. And then folks in chat also feel like these types of channels are driven by the personalities on them.
For sure.
Which makes a lot of sense. This is an opportunity for these different personalities to come together from whatever corners of the internet they're usually at, and really get into their improv chops and get people, laughing at a different side of their personality. And I think that's part of this. I think everyone should be working on their own brands outside of it in like an ideal world. And I think the strategy here with shorts, I'm just glad to see they're doing shorts. I kind of wonder what some of these more popular ones kind of look like. Oh, sorry, it's muted. Let me refresh that.
She's gonna pour you a drink.
Yeah. Great.
Do you drink it?
I do love drinking things.
From the same flask, she just keeps watching you and slowly takes a sip.
So he does one of these where it's like...
Commitment to the bit.
For our audio listeners, what?
So, yeah, this is kind of what I imagine they'd be like. I think a little bit of context setting these up could even go a long way. You know, we were playing D&D together, and you'll never believe what so-and-so did. You know, just having a voiceover come on before the short, because imagine scrolling to that and you don't know what it is. You didn't search for any D&D content. You're just looking at cat videos and videos about cars and things like that, and you scroll to that. Do you make it that far in, as far as we made it in? Probably not, because it's just two people kind of talking, and it's not clear what they're doing. So setting up your shorts with a little bit of context is very, very helpful. And this could be a really good way to grow the audience, whether or not you're doing live streams. And then my final bit on this, because I thought of this a second ago as well. The last thing I'd say is I still think they can work on their titles and thumbnails, even if they do need to be kind of structured a little bit differently. I still think that instead of something vague like Whispers of War, what if it was take the funniest moment from the whole thing, like he got us kicked out of a tavern, you know, and now the person's face can have a little bit more meaning, because now they're like covering their face, like they're embarrassed, like, oh no, and there's a tavern in the background, you know, like try to take a moment and like make that part of the story that your thumbnail and your title are trying to tell, and do it as a test. I'm not saying that's just going to work automatically, but test it out, because you've been trying this method for quite a while, and I think it's time to change these up a little bit. But there you go. That's everything I had to say about that. We have our first gaming channel that's submitted as well on the gaming forum, and that channel is called Scorpion, one or the other. They want to know if they should stick to one game franchise or do a variety. So they have a whole bunch of videos here at various lengths, but they've only been at it for about 7 months on and off. Let's check out their latest video. I would say it took me about 15 seconds to get that I was watching kind of a montage of like funny things happening. But at first, seeing like the menu screen on there, just with nothing happening at first, no one talking, this threw me a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like the lack. I mean, if we were just going to watch, you know, if it's funny moments, funny clips, things of that nature, a little bit of voiceover there would have helped. You know what I mean? So, because especially with the showing the menu and stuff, it's like, what was the point of that? That should have been edited out if it's not actually bringing any sort of entertainment value, especially if you're not going to talk. You know what I mean? So that to me could have been left out, unless it actually is something funny. But being that I don't really know this game and I don't know exactly what's happening here, I'm sort of confused.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for this one. I kind of wonder what's the 13-minute video like. It seems like this was an intentional video for it to be kind of funny and not to have talking. Do they talk in this one?
It's last one. Download the game. And this is his speedrun time. Pretty bad, huh? Last place. Time to make it even faster. So starting off, I needed to learn how to speedrun Epic for 1. Now, I took a look at last month's run. It didn't go so well. So I took another look at the world record, took some notes, and then started playing.
So in this one, there was more of an intro. They tried to tell a story. They tried to use some really quick cuts and some humor. What do we think of this one?
Much better than the first one, that's for sure. I don't know. I'm not really sure why they felt the need to talk in this one, but not the other one. Because again, if it's funny moments, then it would help to have some context as to why are these moments funny, and what happened that made you think they were funny, or why would they be funny to a potential viewer. So I appreciate the fact that in this second video, there's a little bit of an intro, and he's taking us through what he's going to do and what's gonna happen in this video. So much better job on this particular video.
Yeah, this felt more accessible to me right out from the beginning, but it also feels like either they might be struggling with language a little bit, or maybe English isn't their first language, which is totally fair. One of the things that can help from a channel that I have been watching is the narrator speaks with an accent that sometimes can be a bit heavy, so he started using burned-in captions, which can help. But obviously that's another layer of complexity added to the video. But still, actually voicing it does help, and it actually does help create a connection with the viewer.
I did feel, and I agree with all those points, I did feel like they were kind of subdued a little bit too. Like, I was expecting them, given what they were attempting to challenge, like the challenge they're attempting is like trying to beat someone's speedrunning record. So I would expect a little more excitement, I guess. I would just take your personality, crank it up a notch and really like get in there. When you mentioned that they, English might not be their first language, I was wondering, yeah, like that could be it. It's just speaking a little bit louder, a little more clearly, enunciating a bit better. That would have helped me quite a bit, if anything, just to get me more excited about the video I was watching.
Yeah, I completely agree. They got to turn it up a little bit, because if you sound bored doing your intro voiceover, what's going to make me excited to stick around and watch it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
We're not doing it.
So I think this is a much better showing for them than the first video we saw. Maybe they're just experimenting with stuff. And their question to us, if you remember, was should they stick to one game franchise or do a variety? I think the problem here is not necessarily sticking to one franchise or variety. This is like a Minecraft video, and this is, I don't know what this game is. I guess Epic War. In terms of popularity, I've definitely heard of Minecraft. We're talking about a game with a household reputation. I've never heard of Epic War until just now. I don't know what that game is. I don't know how big the audience is, and maybe I'm just not in the loop. Maybe it's a new game that's really up and coming and very exciting. A lot of people love it. But it also doesn't feel like those games would share much of an audience. It feels like they're two separate things. And I would just caution you not to worry so much about the game as much as you should be worried about the audience that you're catering your content to. Always be asking yourself when you upload a new video, is this video that I'm posting one that my audience that I've already started to foster, is it one that they're going to care about at all? Is it one they're going to come back for? You can play different games. It doesn't necessarily have to be just one and done, but we recommend one game so that you can kind of build yourself up over time and you can start to learn what it's like to cater to one audience, because one game, one audience. It's kind of an easy, like an automatic way to focus your channel, right? So the other thing that would help you too, just back into channel review mode for a second, is when you do things like I added something to Minecraft, I don't even know what that is, you have to still preserve some Minecraftiness in your thumbnail, because unless you look really closely at the ceiling, it doesn't look like Minecraft at all. And that's going to be a problem for a new viewer scrolling by on YouTube. If they don't recognize what you're doing, if they have to think too hard, they're going to skip over this. And so I noticed this. It's the only reason I knew it was Minecraft because it said Minecraft in the title. And I probably would have never even gotten there if I was scrolling around on YouTube.
Yep, agreed.
And then if you look, again, I'm just kind of stuck in channel review mode right now. But if you look here at some of the more popular videos, they were asking way more interesting questions that I think fans of Epic War would understand, right? Like, can you beat Epic War 5 using only 2 unit slots? Sounds like a challenge, and it sounds like anyone who plays this game would know exactly what you're talking about. But beating this speedrunner at his own game, we don't even know what game you're talking about because it's not in the title. It's not really well reflected in the thumbnail. And so be thinking about that stuff too when you're coming up with your title ideas and your thumbnails. It needs to be recognizable for the audience that you're trying to cater your content to.
Indeed. All
right. So the next channel that we've pre-selected is it's Shabri's. Sorry if I'm not saying that right. Garden and Kitchen. They're a gardening and cooking channel, and they were wondering this is a farm to table kind of channel. We need vidIQ's input to improve and get more views. And that's exactly what we're here to do. So they have over 100 subscribers now, and they've been releasing videos quite consistently. I'm going to just take a look at the latest video. I'm going to go ahead and lower that. I do recognize that as being from the YouTube audio library because I was recently searching for this kind of music. I'm just going to lower it a little more. So we're about 20 seconds in. Let me just skip ahead.
All right, Dan, we're good.
Yeah, I think we've seen quite a bit, and I think we know kind of where the video is going.
Yeah. So in these type of videos, especially when you're showing people how to do something, it's one thing to show them via the video or pictures or whatever, but you need narration, man. Like, and I know this might be my own personal opinion, but sometimes people need to be handheld. They need to be coddled. So there needs to be like a step-by-step narration of what you're doing, why you're doing it. And if people need certain like ingredients or if they need certain things to make this work, you need to verbalize that to me and the audience. So I think this video, and I don't know if all their videos are like this without any narration, but I think some narration would definitely help you go a long way as to improving your content.
Yeah, at the very least, if they're not willing to do that, at the very least, put the steps in captions on the screen as you're going along. So, like step 1, we add this layer, and step 2, you're going to need this much of this ingredient, and step 3. So, same way I've seen people do it on voiceless cooking channels. They're putting everything up on the screen, and they're also including like the full list in the video description as well. But those two, because right now I have no idea, like. Maybe if I knew what all these ingredients were, then I can I can put all that together. But I want you to think of it from the premise of someone who's never made, decorating a fishbowl or anything like that. Think of it from that perspective. Just because you are familiar with all of these parts that it's going to take doesn't mean that the person coming and watching your video is going to be familiar. Mm-hmm. So you always want to think of it from that, explain it to me like I'm 5 perspective.
If you're going to do a tutorial of any kind, like you really got to tell people not what to do, but also why to do it. So if you're just showing me pouring sand in, like what you haven't done is you haven't shown me an amount to put in. I don't know how big the fishbowl even is, like relative to the one I have. Like there's a lot of missing information here, but this is a how-to video. I'm clicking on this with the intent to learn something. And nothing is being said, no captions on the screen. I have no idea. Like, just seeing you do it isn't quite enough. I would imagine people find it, as pertinent information to know how much of this sand you should put in. Because this just looks kind of like a bit random. Especially if a fish is going to live in here. It doesn't look like it will. It's too shallow. I'm assuming this is just for decoration purposes, but yeah, that's one video. Why don't we look at one? This is supposed to be a cooking channel, I thought, but that doesn't seem like a cooking video to me. Let's look at one that clearly looks like a cooking video. We got captions in this one. But again, the crucial error that I'm seeing is you're not saying how much of what to put in what.
Thank you. Yes, you cannot make a how-to video and just throw stuff on the screen and don't explain what you're doing and how precise it needs to be. Because anybody can do that, but is it going to have the outcome that you desire or is supposed to have if we don't do it the precise way that it needs to be done? When you're making how-to videos, you gotta break it down like step by step via captions, or you gotta narrate that thing precisely. If you're gonna put milk in there, how much milk do I need? If we're putting cinnamon in there, like how much cinnamon? Do I need a tablespoon? Do I need a teaspoon? Do I need a giant Mega Man spoon? I don't know, but I need to know this stuff, man. So we need to be precise with this stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's literally if you're naming any video a how-to, you need to be specific. And if you don't want to talk, put it on the screen. It's going to be an extra step, but this is what you got to do. Because if I would have landed on this video and would have seen nothing, nothing telling me on the screen or no voice telling me this, I would have found another video. Just being real with you, I would have found a different video. So you're sort of doing your potential viewers a disservice by not including. If you're going to name your video how to, you need to show me how to do it. You need to either tell me how to do it or show me how to do it step by step. And that's what is sorely missing in these videos right now.
Yeah. And I get like, so they poured milk in a bowl and they didn't say the amount. However, when they started using, like, putting the bread in here, I realized, like, okay, maybe the amount doesn't matter too much because it just needs to be enough to soak this bread, but it still matters enough to say the amount of milk doesn't matter, like any amount, just put it on the screen. Give us more context here. And then also we still have other ingredients that were not measured out either. So we're just not doing enough here for the viewers to effectively make this recipe. And it's kind of, it's doing a big disservice to your viewers who clicked on a how-to video.
Yep.
All right. So for those of y'all who are newer in the content creation journey and you're making content that you feel is not performing to your expectation, I need you to listen to this very, very carefully. When you find yourself making content and your videos aren't getting the views and things that you feel like they should be getting, you need to go out and do your research. Find the best channels in your niche and look at their most best performing videos and take notes and see what are they doing and try to figure out how those videos got the views that they got. Because once you do that, then you have a better idea of things that you need to incorporate into your own content to maybe accelerate the viewage and the growth of your channel and your situation. But I mean, again, it's all about wanting to level up and wanting to be better each and every time out as a creator. You can't be complacent in this game. You might think you're the expert, but there's always going to be somebody out there that is doing it better than you, and it can never hurt you to try to learn from those people out there that are getting it done.
Yeah, I agree. And when we look at other channels, this is for everybody, not just this creator, but for everybody. When you look at other channels, especially the ones that are at the top of your niche, don't let it discourage you, because that's a mindset thing. That's a trap, right? You're going to see the channel. Oh my God, they're doing so well. They're doing so much better than me. Oh my God, I suck. I'm terrible. No. This is research. You're looking at these other channels, not just one channel. You're looking at multiple channels. So you can start seeing what is working at the top of your game. What is it that's getting people to come back? What do people find useful? Go into their comment section and see what people liked about the video, right? See, how can I incorporate that into my video? That type of stuff is what I've been doing for a while. This is why I have such an extensive list of competitor channels in my vidIQ tools, because I want to be able to research these channels really quickly, jump into them, jump into the videos, jump into the comment section, and really deep dive into what's working and what isn't. That's how I improved my content. That was a major game changer for me, is realizing, oh, the people in my niche that are doing well, they're not doing intros. Oh, good to know. All right, the people in my niche are jumping straight into the content, or the people in my niche don't use their face in their thumbnails, or I started noticing these patterns and correlations. So this is what you should be doing. Don't let their big numbers discourage you. Instead, let it encourage you, because they're showing you the way.
Yeah. So there you go. Thank you for sharing your channels. We have even more channels that have been pre-selected here, including this non-gaming channel. They're making funny animations. They're called Doodle. And they said, some of my videos have 0 impressions and aren't on the short shelf. How can I avoid this? So I did take a look at this channel ahead of time. I already had some ideas just looking at the types of videos they're doing, but let's take a look at 2 videos. I want to look at one. I want to look at the latest one, and then I want to look at one that's been, in the short shelf clearly and had some views brought to it. Oh.
Knock, knock. Who's there? No bell. No bell who? There's no bell. That's why I knocked. That joke sucked. Now you die.
So that one got 4 views, and may still, you never know, may still take off.
Yeah.
And then we have one here that got over 1,000 views.
This is milk. It tastes kind of good. How do you get it? Ooga, answer my question. No. This is milk.
So my first instinct here when I saw those 2 videos was that it was clear to me why one got more views than the other. And it's not because one was funnier than the other, in my opinion. I think it's because of the actual context itself. The person who discovered milk feels like a really approachable topic. And then when they tell a bad joke, they die. It kind of just confuses me a little bit. Just as a title and a concept for a video, I'm kind of like, when they die, what do you mean they die? There's a lot of like question marks above my head. When you stop a fight at school, very approachable topic. You know, I know what they're trying to get at there. When they don't wake up, but it's Christmas, like, I don't know. Do you guys see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you saw the videos. What did you think?
My question is, what is going on with the deadpan? Maybe that's what they're going for, but like, there's like, what if milk is wet, water is dry, and I'm just like, where is the energy in the delivery of the content? Because I'm just not getting that energy. I mean, again, maybe these characters aren't designed to bring energy, but I just feel like if you want to engage the viewers on YouTube, you got to have some type of energy or emotional exchange to keep people engaged, and I'm just not getting that from these shorts. But maybe that's just me though.
No, I agree. And I think there should be some more sound effects too. When we're talking about animation, think about cartoons and think about old school cartoons, right? So yeah, I mean, it's easy for you to just do the voiceover, right? But what if we put a little more work into it? Because animation wise, I think it looks cool. You know what I mean? I think it looks cool. There's some beauty in the simplicity of the way that these animations are being done. But when we're combining that with the deadpan, I think some sound effects to kind of improve things could sort of help if they want to try that. But yeah, I kind of get where you guys are going with that.
Yeah. There's the delivery is going to be, for a lot of people who don't read the title and they just scroll to this, that's going to be the make or break. Are they going to stick around and watch this content, or are they going to keep scrolling? And so you're right. Yeah. Lack of sound effects, deadpan delivery. It might not be hitting right. You know, you can do a deadpan kind of delivery in comedy, but I think it has to be practiced a lot. It has to be done a certain way so people know what you're doing. Otherwise, it just kind of feels like you didn't really put any energy into it. Mm-hmm. It's hard. Comedy's very, very, very difficult, and that's what this person is trying to do. You know, a lot of times we talk about have better thumbnails, blah 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 blah. What we're really saying to you guys is go out and like learn these skills. You know, you can't get better thumbnails just by watching vidIQ all day long. You have to actually go out and then pick a software that you make thumbnails in and sit down and learn how to use the software, whether it's just through sheer force where you just sit down in front of it and you won't leave the chair until you know more about it, or you watch some tutorials on YouTube or things like that. I think for this creator, learning comedy skills, acting skills, things like that, you know, what kind of things can you do outside of YouTube that are going to improve your channel? And then back when you come back to your YouTube videos, now you just have this whole new skill set. That's really what it takes on YouTube, is to like learn skills outside of YouTube. It's not enough to just get YouTube advice. You have to then learn the thing that you're trying to do on your channel. If you want to start a woodworking channel, but you don't know anything about woodworking, you can't look at us and go, Dan, how do I grow a woodworking channel? Like, well, do you know anything about woodworking? You need to like learn these skills. So
Precisely.
Another pre-selected channel here. They're a theme park / travel channel, and they want to know advice on getting more of audience retention. So we have it here. It's Zooder Loopers, and I would assume they either travel a lot or they just live close to a theme park. They got a lot of videos, and they've been uploading pretty consistently, which I thought was pretty cool. So I thought we would take a look at the latest video and see what we can see.
Air Force One might just be the best coaster in Georgia.
I mean, I think that it could.
No, wait. We gotta give them a reason to watch to the end.
Okay.
I'm excited, dude. Air Force One is testing.
I know. I didn't think it was going to be testing before the new year, but here we are before Christmas, and it's running. I think Fun Spot is awesome.
Dude, no hate to Fun Spot. Fun Spot is killing it.
Fun Spot is goals. Like, it's crazy. Like, they have freaking Six Flags. Like, you go anywhere in the world, you say Six Flags.
So 30 seconds in. Jeff, we'll start with you.
Well, I like the fact that they're actually excited about what's going on here, but it kind of it leaves me a little lost as to what's going on here. Like, will this be Georgia's new best roller coaster? Like, I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Like, we're talking about a roller coaster, but I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's something that is something I can go visit right now. So I like the excitement and the energy that they're bringing in this intro, quote unquote, or in the first 30 seconds. But something to let me know exactly what's happening might have been a little helpful. At least throwing it in somehow would have been a way to do it. But yeah, it just kind of left me a little confused as I'm trying to figure out what am I watching here.
What about you, Viper?
I'm like watching this, and I found them a little bit hard to understand what they were saying. I mean, I appreciate the excitement and things like that, but I was struggling just trying to figure out what they were talking about and what they were saying. So I don't know. Maybe my ears need to be cleaned out, or maybe they were just talking too fast or too excitedly. I don't know, but I don't know. I just found myself lost.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I was very confused. I can comprehend that a theme park I've never been to before has a new roller coaster. Like, all of that is very simple for my brain. But somehow, in watching their intro, that concept became the most confusing thing ever. Like, they were using, like, at first it seemed like they were gonna bring me in as someone who might not have ever been to this theme park before, but then they just started using words that I've never associated with this stuff before, and I think they're using names of roller coasters or theme parks in their area, but they've just done nothing to give enough context to that. And I think it just kind of twisted my brain like a pretzel, because I'm trying to listen to what they're saying, and I'm already distracted by some very obvious production quality issues that I want to talk about, but the actual like back and forth between them, I felt like they were just talking over our heads at certain points in this 30-second intro.
That's what I mean. It's that I'm not exactly sure what's happening. So it's sort of it's the same thing that I was telling the other person. You have to approach it like somebody who, one, has never seen you before, two, is new to all of this. So I don't know that this, whatever theme park this might be, has a new roller coaster coming. I don't know that. Yeah. Right. So you have to approach things from that direction. You have to also remember when you're making these videos that most of the people that are going to watch this video are not subscribed to your channel. Yep. So they don't know you. They don't know the banter between you guys. So you have to keep that in mind, that you have to draw me in and then get into that sort of stuff. So you have to make me want to stay in those first 30 seconds.
Yeah. I think if there was like an intro that just said, very simply, this is Six Flags in blah, 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 Georgia. And they just launched a brand new roller coaster. They've just started testing out. It's called blank. And this is so-and-so. We're just nerding out over this thing. What do you think, Bob? And Bob's like, blah, 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 blah. So it just needed that. It needed that kind of introduction for anyone who is not from that area or has never been to this theme park before, but is interested in seeing roller coasters and stuff from these different places. That's like, I'll watch channels that do theme park tours and stuff all the time, and I have no intention on going. I've never been to some of these parks. I just want to see the cool stuff, whatever it might be. And they always do a really good job of remembering that I'm watching someone who's just possibly never been before, and they give me factoids and stuff about the theme park that I imagine their regular viewers are like, yeah, dude, we know. But they're always doing that for me, the new viewer. They always keep me in mind. And I feel like that's what these creators need to do. If they're concerned about audience retention, that's going to be the first thing. Let's talk about the production quality a little bit. I think we all noticed that the audio was really echoey. They're obviously in a space that is not treated with any kind of sound treatment at all. Which is okay. You can definitely get by with that. But I think it's time to invest in some lapel mics or something that's going to capture your audio a bit closer to your face and not get as much reverb off the walls. So there's some good options for that out there. Viper, what did you notice?
No, yeah, there's definitely something going on with the audio. Like you said, they were probably in an untreated room. And there are definitely ways that you can do your audio, like Dan was suggesting, if you don't have the funds to treat the room. Like you said, get a lapel mic. Didi made some good ones that capture the sound and kind of block out the noise around you. So there are definitely ways to upgrade your audio. And I think I was even talking about this on Twitter the other day, but audio is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing when you're making a video. Because if your audio is bad, you're going to have a lot of people exiting stage left if they can't really rock with your audio. So you got to get the audio together for sure.
And then the video itself. It felt like the cameras here, like this one especially, we're seeing all kinds of lighting issues. We're seeing what's that called when you have the bars on the screen? Flickering, screen flicker. There's a lot going on there. I think there's an auto white balance set on one of these cameras. It also felt like the way the video was cut together, that these two were in completely different places. And it could just be the illusion or lack thereof that establishes them in the same room. Just literally an establishing shot of them at the beginning that shows them sitting across from each other. But the way you shot this, it feels like you did it remotely. It feels like one person was in one room across the country or state, and another person was a whole different room. And so we watched a little bit more to see what I'm talking about here. Where is it when I come back on camera? Here, okay, we got some scene switching here.
Yeah, but nobody talks about that as best coaster in Georgia.
What's the best coaster in Georgia? Anything better?
I mean, it has to be.
It's gotta be Goliath.
I mean,
do you guys feel that? Is it just me?
They might not be in the same place.
Yeah, and also you notice that the flickering is only happening on one side and not on the other.
Right.
So, and what a great place to pause it. Good Lord, Dan.
All right.
But no, I totally agree. I am getting the vibe, even though they're both in white rooms. I'm getting that vibe. They're doing it. If that's the case, if they're not in the same room, they're doing it quite well. The issue is that there isn't parity between the quality of both videos, and that's what throws you. But yeah, there's some production things that could definitely be improved for sure. Audio with the lapel mics, lighting maybe a little bit for the other gentleman, but also figuring out those camera settings. You know what I mean? Something's up with that frame rate. We're getting that flickering, which is really odd.
Yeah. So a lot of things to work on there. And I think everything we've talked about for this channel is literally going to help the audience retention. I don't think we got into anything else title thumbnail wise. And I'm sure if we were doing a regular channel review, we could probably get into some of that as well. But that, after seeing the first 30 seconds of your videos, it's clear to me that that's what the focus needs to be on next.
For sure.
All right, you all. We're going to What's up, Dan?
I said best of luck. Are you ready to get into some supers here?
Yeah, we're going to detour. So we're going to address some super chats here. First one from Bowser, $2. Yo, check out Parrish. So we cannot be bribed, meaning that we are not going to be taking super chat for reviews. If you want your videos looked at, there is a form or forms down in the description that you need to go down there and fill them out. That is the only chance that you will have of getting your channel looked at. So do with that information what you will. But thank you for the super chat. Next up, we have Synergy Effect, $5 super chat. Thank you for that. I almost have 80,000 impressions with 8,000 views off video with a 6.5% CTR. Is that good for my channel? 137 subs. Do I need to improve my thumbnails? If you have a video with 80,000 impressions, that is definitely good for your channel of your size. CTR is kind of crazy because there are so many variables that play into how good your CTR is. So you really can't gauge how good your channel is doing based off of CTR because of the variable. But 80,000 impressions is pretty good. Now, I was under the impression that was for one video, but you said video. So I don't know how many videos you have out there, but 80,000 impressions, even with that channel size being 137 subscribers, you're on the right track. So I would just say keep making more content. And again, thank you for the super chat. And last but not least, we have Zaya Witch with the $20 super chat. Thank you for that. She said, truth, I need to stop being discouraged. Yeah. And like Jeff said earlier, don't be discouraged when you go and look at these bigger channels. Again, what you all fail to realize or forget sometimes is that these bigger creators have been doing it for years. Okay. We're talking 5, 10, hell, 15 years in some cases. When you do it for that long, you're going to get good. If you're committed to doing it for that long and you've been in the game for that long, you're going to be good. Like think about professional athletes. Some of these professional athletes out here don't become famous until like year 10 in their career. So it's the same thing with content creation or any other thing, any other discipline out there in life. Sometimes it takes a while for you to get good. So put in the work and eventually you'll get to that level where they might be looking at your channel one day down the road. So there you go.
Yeah, don't compare your step 1 to somebody else's step 800.
Boom.
That needs. I need that on a pillow. All right. So we have our next channel here pre-selected before we get into random draw, and it's from Lily, or That's So Lily, the GSD, and I believe that stands for German Shepherd. I make both long and short videos, but I really want my long videos to take off. Any help would be amazing. All right. So they do indeed make long and short videos. And if you look here at the difference in views, we're getting thousands of views on the shorts. That is not translating in the long form videos, although there's not a ton. So let's take a look at one of these long form videos and then let's take a look at a short, see what we can see. I'll go ahead and lower this. Will the dog actually open the gift? Oh my gosh. I'm impressed at the dedication here.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that I don't know how the rest of our long form videos are, but I think that the problem is that I'm going to go out on a limb and say that most of your subscribers are coming from your short. And with that, they are not there for your long form video, which is maybe why your long form videos aren't taking off, because the majority of your audience is there for the short form content. And if that's the case, then it would kind of make sense that your long form videos aren't taking off because they don't want your long form. They want your short. So there might be an element of that to it, which is going on with your long form content.
Definitely. There's like when I watched that video, it was only 2 minutes long and there wasn't any commentary or anything. It was just kind of, adorable dog does adorable thing. And I feel like the shorts are the same in that sense, but they're a bit shorter. And I kind of wonder why the video we just watched wasn't a YouTube short. It didn't seem like it necessarily needed to be.
Thank you.
2 minutes long and in a widescreen format. So let's look at this one that got 5,000 views. And I'll go ahead and mute it because I'm just never sure. That's pretty cute.
I like it. I see what they did there. I like it though. I like it. But no, I completely agree. What works as a short, the cute animal footage, that stuff, won't necessarily work as a long form video. When we're talking about long form videos, there has to be a reason to click beyond cute dog, right? You got to show me something, tell me something. Like here's like the next one: 2 games you need to play with your pet. I would hope that they would be teaching me something, saying, hey, these are the 2 games that your dog will absolutely love, or your German Shepherd will absolutely love. If it's just you showing me 1 minute worth of them playing the game, I don't know how much that's going to help. Yeah, see, this should have been a short.
Yeah.
Straight up.
This feels like it should be on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And I will say there was a point in my own YouTube Shorts tests where what was working on Shorts was working in long form content. And I learned later, thanks to like YouTube kind of telling us this, that something was going on there with YouTube Shorts for a while, whereby the algorithm saw people watching short videos and thought, I got lots of short videos. And so long form videos that were just shorter, widescreen videos, were also getting watched more because YouTube was just surfacing them more. That, I believe, is not the case anymore. I think YouTube is kind of, or at least the algorithm has learned by now that, okay, short videos are this, long videos are this, and now we've kind of seen a balance shift again. And I've been noticing that shorter videos that kind of feel like they should be YouTube Shorts should probably just be YouTube Shorts. You should save your long form videos when you have something a little more to say, a little more to show.
Yeah.
Keep them short, man. Do that.
So the best advice I could give you is, if you're going to do long form, do long form. But it's not going to be the same simple kind of content, because that stuff should just be shorts. If you want to do long form, do actual long form, right? Talk to me. Tell me something. What are things that I should know if I want to get a puppy, a German Shepherd puppy? What are things that I need to know if I have an older one? Things that are going to help me as a viewer. And what I'm getting at here is provide value. Provide value to a pet owner or to somebody with a German Shepherd in their family.
There's a number of animal channels out there that do fun things with their pets like you're doing. and I would take some inspiration from their titles, their thumbnails, and in this case, the video length. There's, you know, a lot of channels that will set up elaborate obstacle courses and stuff and have their pet kind of try and work their way through it. And those videos are 5 to 8 minutes long, and they kind of tell a story. They show the person kind of setting everything up, and then they show the pet reacting to it for the first time, and then it gets into them like trying it out and things going wrong, and maybe the pet gets frustrated and just jumps over it, or like a bunch of things happen. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that, you know, that's great. That makes a lot of sense for a long form video. I think kind of what we're saying here is make longer videos, but not just make longer videos. Like, you know, give your long form videos a purpose. Plan a strategy around them. They should still be about you and the shenanigans you get up to with your pets, but they should still have their own purpose. Kind of think of the long form section of your channel as its own channel. And, you know, you do something on your long form side and you do something on your short form side, and there's like a clear dividing line between the two. It just so happens that they could cater to the same audience.
Yeah.
So best of luck. I also think they just need to upload more. If they want their long form videos to take off, it's just build up the content library, you know, just keep uploading. You know, one video every couple of weeks or so it could work. It's just a slow way to kind of get started.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's one thing is building up consistency, but I agree, because the more content you have, the more that your content can suggest itself when people land on it. Every video is going to be an opportunity for you to be able to bring more people in. So that's definitely something that I wanted to say. And also, you know, making these types of videos with pure entertainment in mind can be good as well. But how many of these channels are there, right? Mm-hmm. What makes yours stand out above all the others? Just like when we talk about gaming channels, when the barrier to entry is easy because all you're doing is showing me these clips but not doing more, how can you take it up a notch that's going to make you stand out above the thousands of other channels that are providing the same type of content, right? Yeah. So that's something I want you to think about, because if there's already huge people in space doing, you know, kind of more basic videos like this, then how can you take it a step further to provide more value, to provide more entertainment? How can you step it up a notch? So I want you to think about that. You have to be honest with yourself about that.
Yeah. So there you go. And real quick, we've got another super chat here. 130,000 views in 10 days with your help, says Furry Tunes. Thank you so much. Awesome to hear. Thank you for sharing.
Heck yeah.
So we're about to get into random draw. So if you've been submitting your channel on one of the two forums down below, it is almost your chance to possibly get your channel picked. Before we do, though, I want to show you something cool. Showed this off yesterday. Going to show it off again. If you have a vidIQ account, while this is an early preview, anyone can try it out. Think of this as ChatGPT, but it's been trained on YouTube advice. And so this is your AI coach, and it can do all sorts of cool things for you. And one of my favorite examples of that is writing a script for a video. So there's some prompts here just to give you an example, but it goes beyond these 4 prompts. So for example, write a script for a YouTube video about my dog. I'm trying to set up a fun game with him, and I would like a short script that goes through setting it up and my dog's reaction to the challenge. All right. It's going to take a minute to think, and then it's going to spit out a script. And usually these are a really good starting point for a video that you're making. Sure, no problem. Here's a script that I've created for your YouTube video about your dog. Hey, everyone, it's time to set up a game for my pup, Fluffy. It even named your dog for you, in case you didn't have that yet. Today, I'm going to challenge him to a race around the living room. He's a pretty energetic pup, so I'm sure I'll love this. Even gave you an activity to do, but you can always fill in the blank with your own, pet name and activity. First off, I'll set up the starting line. I'll take a couple of cushions and lay them on the floor in a line, and then I'll show them. Now, this is obviously written as a script. It's assumed that you're going to be saying this, but I would almost look at this from the last channel we just saw as an outline. So instead of you saying all this, just start setting up the cushions. Just like show the things that are here. So there are a lot of ways you can use this to help make better videos, and we just want you to try it out and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I wouldn't use it verbatim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't do that.
But I really want you guys, when you look at something like this, to be like, wow, okay, now how can I take this up a notch? Like, think of this as your starting point for the idea. But like, oh, what if instead of a race around the living room, I did a race around my backyard? You know what I mean? But it kind of gave you the idea, right? And then you can sort of kind of tweak things as you go along. So that's how I want you guys to think of this, as a starting point for whatever it might be. Whatever it is that you put in here, always think of it as a starting point, not as the end game. But yeah, this is a really cool thing to have, and being that you can use it for free right now, definitely take advantage.
It is on your web app, app.vidiq.com/chat, or just when you get to app.vidiq.com, click on AI Coach once you're logged in. Check it out, and let us know what you think. All right. So it is time to get into random selections now.
Boy.
You've been submitting your channels.
We're gonna play it.
Crazy in here. Gonna get crazy, Jeff.
Is it okay? I thought something went wrong.
No.
Something's about to go wrong now. Because the claw is here. And
That's not
upsetting
creepy at all.
everybody.
That is not creepy at all.
Why are you doing that again? I thought we talked about this. We had 4 meetings about that, and you were doing it again.
I'm gonna have to go talk to HR again, aren't I?
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is getting expensive. So we have the claw here, and it's going to help pick your channels. There are 445 submissions on the non-gaming form, and almost the same amount on the gaming form. So that's why we have the 2 forms. Be sure you're filling out the correct one down below. We are going to go ahead and bump this up to 450. And we're going to see if the claw favors the later part of the list, which it looks like it's doing once again. 301. We haven't seen a gaming channel in a while. So let's take a look at Universal Gamer. It says their subscribers went up to 130, but all of a sudden then the number started to reduce. That can happen. Not really a question or anything there, but that can definitely be a thing. All right. Universal Gamers 365. They have 68 subscribers now. They're doing short videos. They're doing long videos. If we look here, we can see that they do prefer long form videos. So let's take a look. I want to say the latest one, but it looks like way too short. Why don't we look at one that's a little more in line with what I guess what looks like their average piece of content? Maybe this one. I don't know if that music's okay or not, so we'll just mute that for a second. And the video buffers. Is that just my internet, you think?
Could be. Could be.
Here we go. So we were into the content there. Part of the lag is on me. So I apologize for that. But part of this too is, I think, the phone that they're playing on. If I just watch the timeline here, no, it does get stuck. I apologize. But you can see that I have the audio turned all the way up, and we can't really hear what's going on. I think their sound is very, very quiet. And there's way too much all over the screen too. We got their name here for some reason. There's a Twitch icon. Obviously it's a mobile game, so we can see the controls on the screen. And it might be grainy because of my internet, so it's hard to judge your quality there. If I put it up to 1080 just to see a freeze frame, I kind of wonder if that clears up. But
buffering.
Ever since we got into random draw, suddenly my computer's like, well,
you're gonna have to F5 this one, man. See if we can refresh it or something.
Wait,
what's going on?
Dan, did you say that you saw a Twitch icon in the video? Did I hear that right?
Oh yeah, just right here.
It's in the
so
corner.
They might be taking this from their Twitch channel.
Ooh, yeah, that could be a no-no.
I know it's in 1080 because their name is no longer all messed up, like it's nice and clean. But we can see their screen is still very blurry. So definitely some production quality issues here.
All right, let me just give you a tip real quick before we go into anything related. As long as that Twitch icon is in your video, it's gonna get suppressed probably. That's a no-no. YouTube ain't trying to promote any videos that are from other sites, and most of these sites are the same way. If you try to upload a YouTube short to TikTok, TikTok will probably suppress it. You try to upload a TikTok to YouTube short, YouTube is going to suppress it, this, that, and the other. So you can't be doing that. You gotta figure out a way to download that video off of Twitch and then put it onto YouTube natively.
So yeah, this could be like a stream that they had all their stuff up on Twitch, but either way, what I'm more concerned about is their titling strategy, their thumbnails, and the actual content itself. When you get into the content, the biggest problem we're seeing here is this ridiculously loud intro that is way too long. It lasts several seconds at the beginning, and then you get into the game. There's no commentary as far as we can tell. And you're even in menu screens kind of setting up. So we're still into the content almost 10 seconds into the video. And then we finally start to see something happening. But the title isn't setting us up for anything. We have no idea. It's just a series of hashtags just kind of thrown in the title. We don't know what.
It's not a title.
Right. We're not getting anything from that. And then your thumbnail, it looks pretty generic. There's a subscribe icon in there for some reason, and it just says Apex Legends Underworld. But what about it? Did you play Apex Legends? I mean, okay, but what happened in Apex Legends? Why should I watch this? What is the purpose of me watching you play Apex Legends? As the audience, they're going to want value. And that's we're not getting any sense of that in any part of this whole process here. So I wouldn't worry so much. Their question that they asked us was about their subscriber count. They didn't necessarily ask a question, but I assume they would love to know why they lost half of their subscribers. I wouldn't worry about it. It could be any number of reasons. Sometimes YouTube just purges subscribers that are bots. You know, sometimes you just, like, as time goes on, you just get some bots and crap that subscribe to your channel. YouTube likes to go in there and get rid of them, get rid of all the dead weight. You don't need them. They weren't contributing at all. What I want you to focus on is making content for an audience. Go out, do some research, find somebody who plays Apex Legends, but could use some help. Maybe you're good at the game and you can give some awesome tips and tricks. Try to avoid making videos about, the best PC games and things that are way outside what you're trying to do. Unless you want to be a channel that constantly covers PC gaming news, that doesn't seem to have a place here. If I'm just in channel review mode for a second. So there's a huge lack of channel focus, and we see it in your content. We see it on the channel page itself. That's what needs to change here.
Yeah, and your thumbnails, you got 3 thumbnails that are the exact thing. What is really going on? Like, that's not going to work, because you're going to have people that are subscribed that skip your video because they might feel like they watched it already because you got the same thumbnail. And why on earth do you have a subscribe thing in your thumbnail? Like, I've been watching YouTube for probably, 12, 13 years, and I have never looked at my thumbnail like, oh my God, I got to subscribe because it's a thumbnail. No, let me do that right quick. No, I'm not subscribed because you make a good thumbnail. So get that out of there. What are we doing here?
Yeah. So just to be clear, and mind you, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know how long ago this channel started, right? And when we first start out, we got to give them the benefit of the doubt that we, when we're new, we don't know things. So what we're trying to tell you here, if there's a takeaway, aside from everything we've given you, first things first, the packaging, right? Your title and your thumbnail is what's going to draw people in. And you're giving us nothing to work with as far as that's concerned. So hashtag Apex, hashtag Legends, hashtag hunting, them like hashtag rabbits, hashtag viral, hashtag, no. You have to title a video like it's for a human being.
Yep.
Right? So like, here's an example of when they titled like a human being.
I just wanted to show the home feed, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like, there's Call of Duty Black Ops 2 saddest moment you missed. You see what I mean? That's titling for a human being. So if you want to use hashtags, use 3 of them, put them in your video description. Yeah. Don't use them in your titles. This is just completely unnecessary. You're just wasting time. You have to give me a reason. But this also goes into getting your title, your video idea, and your thumbnail ahead of the time before you record the video.
Yep.
Because then you'll have that all ready and you can make a video about that title, and that way it all works together. So just something to keep in mind, but you really, really, really got to work on those titles and thumbnails.
Yeah. I've seen hashtags and titles lately a lot more. I've also learned that YouTube seems to be encouraging them more, but to what end, I don't know, because hashtags, as far as I'm aware, are not something people are using to search, at least not today. Maybe YouTube's hoping that shifts at some point.
Maybe.
One place you'll see it is if you upload a YouTube short. and you do it through YouTube's actual mobile uploader, not your computer, and you go to the point where you title a video, it will suggest hashtags to you, similar to Instagram posts, right? Like there'll just be some suggested hashtags. You just tap them and add them to your title. And I'm noticing more and more people doing that. So I don't want to sit here and say hashtags in your titles completely useless, don't do that. But in this case, completely useless, don't do that.
Yeah, especially when it's almost your entire title is hashtags. Like, come on, man. So yeah, if you're gonna do one, so be it. Do one. But your whole title? Come on, son.
Yeah. There's probably something to, and this is just something I'm going to start looking into myself. There's probably something to hashtags and shorts. I would still put them at the very end of your title. And I would not put more than 2. I think if you use too many, it just becomes unreadable nonsense and gibberish. But YouTube is obviously doing something with their hashtags. They're encouraging them more and more. But this is not the way. This is not helpful to anybody. So we've given you a lot there. Hopefully any gaming channels that feel like maybe their content looks kind of similar to this in certain ways, took some notes there, found some things that they could improve with their content. We'll go to the next CLAAAAAW selected non-gaming channel. I'll update the CLAAAAAW here to 475. I'm going to pick 64 from the non-gaming list. All right. Their how-to vlog channel. They said, curious what you think of my channel homepage. Could it use work? All right. So this is their channel homepage. And I want to look at their videos, but let's just out of respect for the question they asked us here. I think you're using all the features that one should use on their channel homepage. You have a video here for your channel trailer that is what we would assume is you showcasing your best work. Like the video that you feel is the best demonstration of what your channel is about. And if you scroll down here, we have just a list of what I assume are your most recent uploads. And then you even have playlists and you have descriptions on those playlists, which is really, really good. So yes. The only thing I guess I would suggest is if you're doing shorts regularly, I don't know how old these are, I would move this shelf higher just so it could be seen. But that's only if you're doing shorts on a very consistent basis. Because I think what I would do is trailer, videos, shorts, then your playlists. Because playlists I feel like are for the people who are a little more deeply invested in your channel, where shorts could be good for, like, better for newer viewers. So just think about the flow of somebody who's new to your channel. What are they most likely to click on? Let's take a look at their latest video and see what it's like. Guys, I'm so sorry. It's buffering again. Let me lower the quality. That's the speed. That's literally the opposite of what I want to do. All right. We'll knock it down to 480. What happened?
Yeah, sometimes you have to refresh it. This happens on mine too, even when I'm not streaming. So sometimes I have to do like a full F5 refresh on the page to get it to actually play without buffering, which kills me, but that's sometimes what we have to do.
Before we go any further, Dan, what is that mug you got over there, man? I like that mug.
What mug?
The one that you were just drinking out of.
Oh, yeah, it's my coffee mug. It's a Hydro Flask.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
yeah, it's huge.
It
fits entire tankard of coffee. It's all the coffee I need for an afternoon. Let's try this again. I apologize for the shakiness here. Boy, I can't even like rewind the video.
Sheesh.
All right, technical difficulties. All right, please stand by while I set up an alternative window.
I was gonna say, do you want me to try to see if I can find the channel and share my screen?
Let's put that in our back pocket. I think I have a way to make this work again. I do apologize. Do we have any? We don't. Any questions in chat? If you guys want to ask some questions, we'll start taking those while I set this up. I've now volunteered my friendly co-host to answer your questions.
Yeah. Y'all can ask no healthy where you got to shave that.
Let's see. I'll randomly talk about a cup. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, yes, it is all Dan's fault. He totally did break YouTube. completely. Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're blaming you in the chat.
It's okay. It's true. It's just facts. Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh man.
So there's a question from
Yeah, I don't you can't buy me by the hour. I'm not a room that you rent, my guy.
My gosh. Jeff, no.
Sir.
All right, let me go back and address the question that was just ready to go. Somebody was asking about how do you get short subscribers over to long form content. You got to make relatable content. So if your long form content and your short form content is similar, then that would be a good way to bridge that gap. Because if they have the curiosity for your short form content and you have longer form content on your channel that is similar, then that natural curiosity should carry them over to your longer form videos to get more information. So that's how you do that.
Yeah. There was another one that came up that was asking how to get more engagement from viewers. Ask questions that are pertinent to them in your videos, right? So here's the thing. You hear a lot of channels say, like, comment, and subscribe. Why should I like? Have you given me something to like? Why should I comment? You didn't even ask me a question. That's the key, right? Ask questions that are pertinent to that audience, right? So like myself, if my videos I'm talking about headphones, earbuds, stuff like that, I'll ask a very pertinent question to my viewers that I know will make sense to them. Because if they like headphones, odds are they listen to music, right? So a question for me, you know, I'll be going from one section to the next. I'll say, hey, before we move into the next section, hey, let me know when you get a new pair of headphones, what's the first song that you listen to with those headphones? Let me know down in the comment section. You got to ask them a question that makes sense to them as a viewer, and that's how you drive more engagement from them. So just something to think about, but I think it's a tip that can help a lot of you.
Somebody asked me in the chat, what hurdles did I face when I started my new channel this year? I think it was more of a mental thing and a mindset because I had spent the previous 4 years on YouTube building up a channel to 6,000 subscribers, and then I decided to start completely over this year. So it's just the mindset of starting over from zero, basically, and then trying to just get over that mental hurdle of, all right, you're starting all over again. After 4 years of building this one channel up, you're doing a new channel. So it's just going through that mental hurdle of like just getting that momentum to start the new channel and just keep trying to grow it consistently, which I'm pretty bad at this year. But when I first started out early this year, I was on fire. So once you get over that mental hurdle of just starting over and being determined to build that new channel up, that's a good way to start.
Yeah, and super chat came in from Resolve VR. Thank you for the super chat. Are featured channels of fellow creators on your homepage a bad idea? Do they hurt your channel? I've never seen that hurt your channel whatsoever. So I prefer to put stuff on my homepage that makes sense to my viewer, right? So if I'm going to feature channels of fellow creator friends, they need to be in my niche. So because I have a lot of creator friends, a lot, but a lot of them are in different niches. I'm not going to put them on my homepage because to my viewers, it doesn't make sense. So that's not what I'm going to do. But you can. I've never seen it hurt. So never seen it hurt.
All right. Thank you for your questions. I thank the two of you for helping me stall a little bit. We're going to try this again, and hopefully things will work out. All right.
So far, so good.
So far, so good indeed. A little bit. The link in the description for first row install. So this was labeled as like a previously on, and I don't know if we're allowed to play the music or not. So I was kind of wondering at what point they might actually start commentating, but it doesn't seem like they will.
Base stone.
Oh, nope, it's there. Okay, let's see.
Wrench, exhaust, vented cover, aluminum, and as the dryer blows, the cap opens, sliding this through, and the actual air from the dryer is going to be coming out through that pipe, and we'll blow that vent open, and it will exhaust outside of the blockwork. That's about the best and easiest way that I can figure out in my mind to get over this obstacle and still be able to build a solid block.
So it seems like they're working on a construction project at their house. This is spanning a number of videos, and yeah, there was some music at the beginning. I would say the intro felt rather long to me, but then eventually we did get to you talking about what it is you're working on, your thought process, all that cool stuff. Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like where it's going. You know, I don't think sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I don't think it's bad in a sense of how long it takes to kind of build up to what it's doing. So far, I like what I'm seeing. Let's see. Okay, yeah, not bad. I mean, one day ago, 671 views. It's not bad. So far, so good. I like where they're going with it. One thing I'm wondering also, I don't see chapters, which to me is kind of interesting because if we're doing how to, you may want just as to improve the viewer's experience. It could be that they actually do put timestamps somewhere, but maybe they're just not timestamping it correctly so it appears as chapters on the screen. But that's something that I would definitely suggest. But I'm also interested in how they're exiting the video.
Yeah, let's check that out. So, let's see, I want to leave some room here.
Next one, peace.
Let me back up a little more.
So it hardens up good, and then we'll do the top inner landing in the morning. All right, you guys know the deal. Till the next one, peace.
All right. Yeah. I like that they keep it short and sweet. I really hope that they would start linking people to another video. So this is for Christian Hardscaper, but also for anybody else in the chat. When you're making your video, whenever you're going to make a video, even if it's something like this, always keep a video. Like, let's say for him, he knows he's going to be doing a concrete block steps. So there's got to be another video on his channel related to this. So he could say something even semi-vague, like, hey, and if you like what you saw here and you want to see a different style or a different technique or something else, check out the video I'm going to leave for you right up here on the screen and throw that up there. And that way you can send them to the next video instead of just being like, all right, peace, and then putting up 2 random videos on the screen. You can do that, but I always only want to give them one choice, one option. So I don't like giving them 2 because whenever you give somebody a choice, it becomes an issue. I like pointing them directly at something to look at, and then that's where they go. And it'll definitely improve, 1, your in-screen click-through, and 2, you're going to get them from one video to another one of your videos, and that is crucial. Getting your channel, getting multiple videos of yours into a viewer's watch history, that is crucial.
Indeed.
Yeah. It definitely helps with that watch session, getting people to, just stay on your channel when they get there. So, yeah, I do think that my biggest, I want to say concern, which would be a strong word here, but my biggest concern would be your intro. I don't love like the static card that comes up at the start of the video. I kind of just want to hear you. I want to see what's going on. I just want to hear you start talking. I don't necessarily think we need this. It was also kind of like interesting as to when the previously on ended. I know I skipped around, but I was on this for a while, and it just didn't feel like it was ever going to end. Like, we got music and we got this being filled in, and okay, it's backfilled.
The only thing left.
So maybe the 30-second mark is where the previously on kind of ends, and then we get into today's video. I don't think you necessarily need any of that. I don't think you need the previously on. I don't think any of that. So what you do is you start the video and you show the status of the project today, and you just make mention in a sentence or less that says, like, if you want to see what it took to get up to this point, I'll leave a video linked in the description. That's it. Like, that's completely it. I think it was just confusing to me. Like, it was previously on, but it just went and went and went and went and went. And I just never got to know if this person was going to ever talk me through this at all. But you have really good production quality. It just, it was confusing at the beginning for a new viewer.
Yeah, that's something we always want to remember, especially with how-to content. Actually, even more so with how-to content. Odds are it's not your subscribers watching your videos. So always keep that in mind. Always keep in mind, I'm making videos for new viewers who've never seen me before. So just like when I make videos on my channel, I don't make videos for my subscribers, or I don't make videos for my subscribers. I make videos for all the new viewers I'm trying to attract and trying to bring in new subscribers.
Right. Any final thoughts, Viper, before we move on?
No, I pretty much agree with everything that you said, Dan. I felt like the previously on bit went a little too long, but other than that, nice job.
All right. So we'll go to the next channel from the gaming forum this time, which is up to 454 responses. And so we will update the claw here to 475 again. 288. All right. They make shorts. Fortnite and Call of Duty. How do you get lots of people into live streams or long videos? So they're doing shorts. They're ready to pivot over to long form videos. And they do have some here that they've been playing with. Let's look at a couple of your shorts. This latest one looks like it got some views here.
Who saved you when you were at your lowest?
I'm not sure we can play that just because of the music. And we're seeing a lot of different faces in your shorts. So I'm not really sure what I can click on here because I don't know what content you own. Like this says Barstool Sports in the corner. So let's just go into answering their question. How do we get people from your shorts to your long form videos or your live streams? And the simplest answer that I have for you is you need to make content that is, again, for an audience. Right now, this feels kind of random, just looking at the thumbnails in these shorts and the titles. And then you need to make that same type of content for that same type of audience on those other platforms, on longs, on live streams. If someone is willing to watch you do like a montage of like Fortnite, headshots and like this really high skill gameplay, that's what they're going to come to expect from your long form videos. Maybe your videos teach them how to do some of the tricks and things you're doing, and maybe your live streams are where all of it actually takes place. That's where people can see you in your element, whether you're succeeding or failing. But you told us shorts, you told us Call of Duty, you told us Fortnite, and it's just hard to know what's going on when we look at your channel from as outsiders. It's really, really hard to see. I'm not sure if Viper or Jeff, you want to weigh in here?
I don't even know what to say, man. It's, like you said, Dan, this channel seems like it's all over the place. And can we go back to the long form video for a minute? Like, it looks like a bunch of Fortnite stuff. Okay, but the short look like there's something completely different.
Yeah, probably the most consistent I've seen them in terms of thumbnails and stuff are here. But I say that with the understanding that there's a 5-minute video about a video leaking on Discord or something. Like, doesn't seem like it has anything to do with Fortnite or Call of Duty.
Yeah, and then broken YouTube premiere, and then below that there's like a meme video and stuff. It's so there's a lack of focus as a whole here. And that's a major issue. If you want your channel to just be a dumping ground for whatever you want to put on it, so be it, but don't expect growth from that. You have to be ready to focus. You have to kind of figure out which lane you want to do. If you want to do memes, cool. If you want to do gaming content, cool too. If you want to talk about movies, that's cool too. So, whichever one you want to do, pick it. You know what I mean? But pick a lane and start going in that direction. I hate seeing channels just kind of like treading water or floundering because they want to just do everything at the same time.
Right.
And it's just, you're not doing yourself any favors that way, because YouTube doesn't even know who to share your content with. Because if you're going to upload a Fortnite video one day, then you upload a leaked video for Discord, it's going to show that to your Fortnite viewers and they're not going to click on it. So you have to think about it in that sense. So hopefully some focus will really start helping them figure things out. I like experimentation, don't get me wrong. But I like experimentation when you're experimenting with a particular viewer to see what they like, as opposed to just complete randomness.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go back to the non-gaming form now, and we see that it's at 488. So we will upgrade this now to 500 selections. 431. All right. Animation channel. If I do animation, how do I upload videos consistently? We can definitely talk about some strategies there. All right. Why don't we take a look at your latest video? This is very, very short. And you're not doing shorts, which is one thing we might advise, but let's go into this. I'm going to go ahead and mute it because it doesn't seem like there's any other audio here. The video is called Cat Receives His Favorite Food. I'm going to be honest. It wasn't what I expected.
What is that? Like, you know what? It's time for a little tough love. Like, what did I just watch, y'all? I don't understand what I just watched. Like, it's like the screen flipping around like 5 times. Like the video talking about cat receiving food. Did he ever receive food? I didn't see it. Maybe you. I don't know. Like, what's going on here? I'm confused, Dan.
I think this is supposed to be the emotional reaction that the cat has upon receiving its favorite food. But I guess when I think animation channel, I kind of expect the character to like move around and interact with something. But instead, the entire video just moved around, and that is technically animated. But I think people click on this and they see like a cute picture of a cat and stuff, but they're not really getting anything from the click. You know, there's nothing funny happened. There's just some music and some screen flippage, and that was it. That was the whole video.
Oh boy, yeah.
So Shorts is helpful for very, very short videos like this. But you said, like, as an animation channel, you're wondering how am I supposed to stay consistent? I'm animating videos. I think you're being very consistent. I think you're uploading. Sometimes you upload multiple times in a day. But this is a lot of content for an animation channel. What I would be doing is actually figuring out how you can get one video, even if it takes an entire month to make, the most views possible. And I would start that process by doing some research. So if you have a skill, like an animation skill, what kind of story can you tell with that? You know, maybe you can make it 3 minutes long. Like, that's your goal. I want to make a video that's like 3 minutes long. And maybe you can incorporate characters that feed into, you know, something popular, something trendy, something like that. Because animation channels, where we see them trip up the most is they try and introduce us to characters that they've made up themselves, but they don't incorporate anything, any trending topic or anything that's going to get them actually discovered. So try and animate something that people could actually find if they've never heard of you before, you know, and work on that video. Really put time into that video, because it feels like what you're trying to do, based on your question and what we just saw, is you're trying to put together something as fast as you can, because you just have this velocity mindset. Like, I have to upload as much as possible. That's how I get big on YouTube. But what you're uploading is, I have to say, for animation channels we've seen, and this is going to sound pretty mean, but kind of low effort. I feel like the barrier to entry for animation is relatively high, and you are trying to, you know, skip that barrier by, like, I'm going to do an animation, but I'm going to just do it as fast as I can so I can get content on my YouTube channel. You are a YouTube content generator first and an animator second, and I need you to be the opposite. I need you to be an animator first and a YouTuber second. And that's, I think, going to be a key to your success here.
And all of these videos are shorts length, but they're not uploaded as shorts, which to me is confusing.
Yeah. These could all be YouTube shorts, and I think they could find themselves a different home. If you're going to make videos that are 20 seconds long, you might as well try it. It's a different side of YouTube, and you should be testing both. If you have an interest in long-form videos, that's great. Test both. But try these as long, you know, as vertical shorts. And I still think you should spend a lot of time on those. You should actually, like, do a proper animation with characters moving around and things happening. And then how can you relate it to something going on in the world? You know, that people will scrolling through shorts, they randomly find it. They're like, oh, that's a pretty funny take on that subject. All right. Shall we move on?
Indeed.
Okay. We will pick the next gaming channel. 396. And that is going to be on the gaming side, 396. All right. They do mostly Pokemon games. They got over 4,000 subscribers. And just generally, what can I do to improve? All right. So they're playing the newest Pokemon games. That's good. It's always good to see. And I want to click on one of your longer videos here, because this one feels kind of like a one-off since it's short.
All right, here we go. We're up to the final gym. The ghost type gym. Oh, looks cool. She got a stage set up. And
so it's about 15 seconds, and I'm already kind of getting some I kind of know what to expect just this far into the video. This is what I would call just a standard Let's Play video. I got Pokemon. I'm going to play Pokemon. I'm going to film myself playing Pokemon. And this is something that we've talked about quite a bit. I will be talking about this on Monday with our updated gaming tips video that's coming out soon. This type of content, although very fun to make, I've been there, I've made this type of content before, is definitely not it anymore. This kind of content, people are not looking for this inherently. They will watch you sit and play a game, but each video you do like this needs to have some kind of very obvious value to it. So I appreciate the title and the thumbnail. Like you've done things to try and make them a little bit differentiated from one another. So it's a rap battle at the Ghost Gym in Pokemon Scarlet. So that's better than Pokemon Scarlet episode 4 or whatever. So good on you for that. But nothing about this title, this thumbnail, or the content itself is like, at the end of the day, that much more interesting than me taking Pokemon Scarlet and just playing it myself. And that needs to be the difference. There's so many types of videos you can make about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that go into tips and tricks and different things. Like as you're playing this game, which you obviously really like, you could be taking everything you learn and putting that into your content. I think the content you're making here, and you might already be doing this, is great for live streams. And you are doing live streams on the channel. So this is the differentiator that I was talking about earlier, Jeff. And I mean, it's that difference between live streaming and long form content. And I think they're doing too much of the same on those two different channels they have.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing where, you know, live streaming is awesome. And you can make it work for you on multiple levels, you know, where you can turn it into mothership type of content, right? Where if you go into it with a game plan, and this is the thing with a lot of streamers that they're not doing. Most streamers that I've talked to, both on Twitch and on YouTube alike, is the planning phase is literally, I'm going to play this game. And that's it. That's where it stops. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, you got to do more than that. Right? You got to have an actual game plan for this stream and what you're going to do. Now, obviously, when you're playing a game, different things happen. That's cool. There's obviously some flexibility in there, but come up with a plan, because if you come up with a plan, then you can repurpose that content much, much easier as dedicated longer form videos, as shorts, you know, little clips and stuff. So you have an opportunity to really make it happen. But planning ahead of time is really going to be the key. So what is the goal of this stream? You know, what is the goal of this particular video? Treat them both the same. Like I treat my streams the same way I treat my videos. I go into it with the exact same process of what am I going to talk about today that's actually going to be interesting to my viewers? You know what I mean? What beyond just the product or the game, what's actually going to bring them here? And then when I have them here, what's going to keep them here? And also what's going to give this video replay value? So game planning ahead of time is really, really going to be the key to getting some of this stuff to work. And I get that, you know, some people will trim these down to make like highlight clips, things of that nature. Totally makes sense. But I think planning is really, really going to be something that helps you take both the streams and the videos to another level.
Mm-hmm. I do see shorts as well. And this is like a Pokemon Advent calendar. And then we got some clips here from what I assume might be streams or videos. You're finding a lot of shinies, which is, for anyone who doesn't know in Pokemon, not easy to do. They're like Pokemon, but they're rare, right? So I think those make a lot of sense. I think the Advent calendar things you've been doing on shorts, at this point, yeah, I probably would have stopped down here after the first few didn't really take off, because it interrupted the pattern of content you were doing where you were finding shinies and getting over 1,000 views. You know, I think shorts is perfect for this, for those moments in live streams and things like that, that are just really, really quick. And you're trying to introduce some new people to your channel. That's what shorts is for. This channel is the ideal candidate for a content ecosystem, a gaming content ecosystem.
Oh yeah.
I do my live streams. I capture clips to get cool shorts from them. And I can use some of those live streams as B-roll for my more informative videos about how to find shinies, my top 10 tips for finding shinies, things like that. I think that's what you need to be doing to separate these three different silos that you have on one Pokemon channel.
I just want to say that I felt cheated when we watched that original video about the rap battle. I'm looking at the first few seconds of the video, and there was no indication of a rap battle anywhere, so I feel cheated. So if YouTube had a better business bureau, I might be talking to them about that particular video, because I felt like I got cheated, yo. Where's the rap battle?
Are you that guy that's like this on the phone?
All right, I'm like, yo, I'm like, Susan, what is this?
Yeah, that click doesn't necessarily pay off until a little bit later in the video.
Yeah.
I've played the game. I know what part of the game they're in, and I know that's coming. But yeah, anyone who clicks on this specifically for the rap battle might be a little bit confused because it's not really shown for quite some time into the video. But
yeah.
Either way, I don't think people are necessarily looking for someone to just kind of play the game passively. And look, like, here's the evidence of it. This video was released 3 hours ago with 5 views, which you're uploading a couple videos a day, which is kind of madness to me. But this video from a lot less time has 12 views on it. 53 minutes ago, this was uploaded and it already has 12 views. So it was a short video about finding a shiny, which is like, when we get this long into a game's release, and Pokemon's a good example, it's been out for long enough to where people are still interested in it, but most of the hardcore fans have beaten it by now, right? So a lot of your fans are in the end game. And when we get to this stage of a game's release, you need to be in the end game too, and you need to be doing the things on YouTube that help the folks in that end game who are getting really like excited about finding shinies and really min-maxing their stats and things like that. So you'd probably want a couple things on your channel. You want to start with the simple tips and tricks, especially for anyone who got the game over the holidays. And then you also want to be in the end game, showing off more shinies and things like that. I think this is your strategy for long form videos. Your shorts are right here. The ones that are already getting a lot of views, keep doing those. And then your live streams are you and your audience chilling out, playing the game. And I think if you silo your content like that, you're going to find really good results. So best of luck. Pokemon's a very competitive space, and they already have almost 5,000 subscribers. I mean, they're doing something right.
Yep.
All right, cool. We will take a look at the next non-gaming channel. We're already over 500 on that form. People are submitting and submitting and submitting. Thank you for that. 345. All right. My videos are plush videos, they say. They are plush adventures. All right. So, let's take a look at Sonic Does Life Hacks for a sec and see what we can find.
So today, I'm going to be doing life hacks.
Looking for an object that somebody hid from you in like a room, just shout, I found it! They're more likely just going to look in the direction that they hid it, and then you can find it.
I found your wallet!
So we can kind of see they're taking TikTok life hacks and then making these plush videos. What are our thoughts?
It's an interesting take. I mean, it's an interesting approach for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. But as I said earlier in this live, when you integrate the TikTok footage into your video, you are risking getting suppressed. The YouTube algorithm, I told you guys before, but the YouTube robot examines every inch of your content. I'm talking title, thumbnail, and the actual video content itself. So the algorithm, the robot, knows what you're saying, what you have in your video. It examines all of it. And the moment it identifies the TikTok logo or TikTok footage, you're probably not doing yourself any favors because they don't want that on the platform. So you got to be careful about where you're getting your content from, especially if it has that TikTok watermark or something, somebody's watermark in it. Yeah, it's not a good look.
So from what I saw, I think I noticed their edits. It does seem like they're actually editing their videos pretty effectively. Like we had this jump cut here where it gets the close up on Sonic's face, and then we get to here with the context of like the life hack, and it cuts back to them. Like they're actually putting in a lot of work on these, which is pretty impressive. The thumbnails overall also very colorful, very vibrant, very nice. So I think for me, this is just going to be a matter of like keep going. Look at some other channels that are doing plush content like this. I've actually seen a number of channels like this, and look at the ones that are most successful, and then try and take notes. Like, what are they doing a little bit differently when it comes to their content, and what can you learn from them? But you're obviously a very young creator. There's plenty of time for you to kind of learn these skills and keep improving.
Also, the one thing I'll say about the plush content is that if you can find a way to cut into the bottom of the plush and insert your hand in there so we don't have to see your hand on camera, that might be something to consider, because when you have your hand in the camera in the shot when you're doing the plush stuff, it kind of takes away from the fantasy of the video when we see a human hand in there. So if you could find a way to like buy plushes that allow you to put your hand in there, or maybe if you can't do that, cut out the bottom of the plush that you have, and then you can put your hand in there. That way you don't have your hand on camera. That might be something that you consider.
Or puppets. I mean, you can put little strings on their arms and like little marionette puppets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thank you for sharing your channel. We'll move on to the next one, which is going to be on the gaming side. And we will use the claw to pick number 295. All right. Says I need to grow up and get more views. I need tips on my thumbnail and editing. All right. Well, that's what we're here for, to help you get some extra views. I'd say thumbnail-wise, for Minecraft thumbnails already, this latest one I'm pretty impressed by. This is pretty nice. I can see it's a mansion. It's a good picture, and they're already getting, look at this, 193 subscribers, 352 views on a video from 5 days ago.
Yo les gens, c'est DarKsu et on se retrouve pour une nouvelle vidéo dans la survie hardcore. Donc oui.
One thing. Okay, no, okay, I was going to say the title is in a different language. For a second I thought it was an English title, and we got in there and you didn't speak English. And that's going to confuse some folks, but no, I was just misreading the title. Production quality wise, we obviously can't understand what's being said. What are we thinking about what we can see, though? Jeff, we'll start with you.
Sorry, I was dealing with a message. So sorry about that.
No, you're fine. So they are showing us around their Minecraft property. They've got a lot of animals. They've got a house built, and they were talking about in the title a simple mansion. But
I like the editing. I think the editing pretty well. There's like a lot of cut. They don't stay in one spot for too long. They're cutting around the different parts of the world, and I think the editing is pretty smooth. We've seen times on these live streams where people will use too many edits. They cut too quickly, and that can really get nauseating and just annoying to try to view. But I think the creator has the right pacing for their edits, and I appreciate what they've done with that.
Is there voice or is it just music, and that's why it's muted?
No, it's just not in English.
Oh, okay.
Je peux l'avoir en plus, c'est
I think it's French.
Oh, interesting.
So
it's dynamic, though. You're right. I agree with Viper on that, because it's not staying in one place, and it seems like they're cutting out a lot of the fluff and just kind of getting to what they need to show us. So, I mean, you tell me, Dan, I don't have a problem with the editing here.
Mm-hmm. I like the editing, and I think just based on the view to subscriber ratio, it seems like they're definitely tapping into something. This is, for anyone who doesn't know, this is Minecraft Hardcore, which means if they die while they're playing, their whole world gets deleted. So inherently, the stakes in a hardcore game are very high, because the longer it goes on, the more interesting it becomes, because they're going to keep building, they're going to keep excelling in the game, which means if they do things like they're doing now, like standing on a big tall tree and they fall, it might not go so well for them. And this whole series could end in any given video.
Okay.
So, yes.
Oh, okay, Dan, I am Minecraft stupid. So can you please explain to me how somebody would actually die in a Minecraft game? I'm confused.
They could get attacked by some mobs. They could make it all the way to the end and fight the dragon and get killed doing that. They can fall off a cliff. There's any number of ways to die in Minecraft. Lava, definitely. Don't dig down. Don't dig straight down. That's always been the number one rule, because you might just fall into a cave. So there's a lot of things. And so we really like your edits. We really like what's going on here with your actual content. And it seems like you're doing a really good job of captivating an audience, because this is, I would say, for a channel playing Minecraft like this, quite a few views. So
what was their other question?
Their question was basically they felt like they needed to grow up, they said, and they wanted to get more views. I think they probably meant level up their channel. They want to get more views, they want to get more subscribers, and they felt like it was time to work on maybe their thumbnails and their editing. I think the thumbnails can be polished for sure, but this is a really good start. They're pretty simple, and I think the editing, as we all said, we all like. So for Minecraft channels, it's really going to come down to concept. You know, what are you doing in today's video? The why should I watch? And a lot of people felt strongly about this simple mansion, and you are playing hardcore, so like it kind of begs the question: did you build this in Minecraft hardcore? That must have taken a while, and it must have been very dangerous because it's rather tall. So, you know, I think just continue doing what you're doing. Look at some really successful Minecraft channels, and you know, maybe don't topic jump so much. Like if something's working, like the Pokemon video you did 2 weeks ago is working really well. This obviously was not a Minecraft Pokemon video. Maybe you're topic jumping a little too much and you start to get some momentum and then you switch topics. Minecraft, you can definitely do that in Minecraft. Even if you're just playing Minecraft, you can niche out too far and topic jump too much. And, you know, you're starting to build this audience and then people are getting confused because you're swapping back and forth between different series.
Yeah, I agree. And then thumbnail wise, definitely make sure you're doing some research on thumbnails. I've seen some excellent Minecraft thumbnails come up, even from one of our own Max students who's in the chat, Gwendolyn. She's got some great thumbnails that, you know, she does for her stuff. So just make sure that you're looking at, she's under Gwendolyn MC if you want to, Gwendolyn Space MC. But if you want to get an idea, you know, channels like hers and other creators, you know, like, look, I mean, check out the pirate ship. Like that is, it's great. So, you know, when we're talking about doing that research, make sure you're looking at other channels to get an idea of what really works, even the before and after ones, 8 hours, goodbye. So just to get an idea of how some of the stuff can look when you're really paying attention and taking the time and getting good feedback on your thumbnails. But really trying that stuff out. But research is really key. You know, finding channels that are doing stuff to get ideas on what can work.
So there you go. Yeah, lots of definitely a ton of Minecraft channels out there for you guys to get inspiration from. But with Minecraft especially, subject. The subject of your video is going to play a huge role. It's just super saturated. When you just sit down and play Minecraft, that's the lowest barrier to entry for gaming channels. I mean, almost everyone owns it, and it's a really fun way to, it's a really fun type of video to make. But the people who stand out are the ones who are just doing different things, taking on different challenges, and really making their videos stand out in that way.
All right, Dan, before we go to the next video, let's hit the couple super chat we got.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we have Autumn and Asia with the $5 super chat. Thank you for that. What tips and tricks would be specific to a travel channel? I travel 9 months a year. I have 115 videos and 597 subs. Travel channel. I mean, I think the big thing with travel channels is that if you're traveling to a particular place, obviously you want to highlight the tourist attraction, because people that are thinking about traveling to that place, they want to know what are the popular places to eat, popular things to do, maybe historic landmarks, different things like that. So you want to highlight the location that you're in and show the people what are some of the things that you can do there, what happens in that location. So I think that's a big part as well. Jeff or Dan, do you have any other suggestions? So feel free to jump on in.
There was a travel channel a while back asking us a similar question, but it was more about like how can they optimize like their travel, because they only travel so much and they have a lot of time to fill, you know, on their channel. So this person kind of feels like they're saying the same thing, right? They traveled 9 months out of the year, but there's 12 months in a year. So is there 3 months where you're not uploading? Because if that's the case, I would be planning out each location or each place you're going. I'd be planning out a number of videos to make there. And hopefully, ideally, you're getting ahead of schedule, because one location, one destination that you go to equals X amount of videos. And so you can start to space those out and upload those in such a way where by the time you are getting into your next travel season, the beginning of that next 9 month period, you still have videos from the last 9 month period that are releasing, you know. And it's also, I would say that's a way to keep you a little bit safer out there, because people who are becoming like fans of you, they don't exactly know where you are, because the content's always just a little bit ahead of like, or a little bit behind of where you actually are on your journey too. But that would be the biggest thing. It's like, because I imagine there's like that 3 month period where, you know, you might find yourself low on content.
Yeah, and without looking at their channel, it's kind of tough to say, because it could be that they need to work on their thumbnails. It could be that they need to work on their titles, you know, or even that they need to come up with additional ideas of what to do. Because some people will show you just kind of like a vlog at a location, but they're not giving you like tips and tricks when traveling to blank, right? Or what neighborhoods to avoid when you travel to blank, like things of that nature. So that's where I would be thinking this. Now, mind you, we're just kind of spitballing here because we're not looking at your channel, but just some ideas to kind of think about outside the box of what could be really helpful for somebody who is going to a particular place. For me, I always love videos of what to avoid. I'm dead serious. Like, I don't want to make that mistake. So, unless you're traveling somewhere where you have like family or friends that are locals, then you're good because you have a guide, right? But if you're not, if you're just solo traveling somewhere or, with your family or whoever to a location, but you don't have anybody there on the ground to help you out, then those are the types of videos that really, really can be helpful.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Longo with the $11. I don't know where currency that is, but appreciate the super chat. Thank you. And thank you to all of y'all. We have 510 of you watching the live stream today, and many more that have been in and out. So thank you guys for being here and hanging out. So it's been, it's been a crazy year, right? This is the last live stream of 2022. We have been doing these live streams every week since January. So I mean, what does that make? What is it, like 104 live streams? I think at the very minimum.
Oh, you asked me to do math. That's not allowed.
So about 104 live streams at the very minimum, 2 a week, and you guys show up and show out for every live stream that we do. So thank you from all of us at vidIQ for just you all being here for the entirety of 2022. Obviously, we're going to be coming back next week for 2023, giving you guys tips on how to grow. Like Dan mentioned earlier, we got the How to Grow a Gaming Channel in 2023 video coming next week. So hang out.
There you go. Thanks, everybody. All right, so we got another one here. AP Antony, 400 subscribers here. On the forum, they said, what could I improve? So let's take a look at one of your latest videos here. It looks like they're reacting to a basketball game. So we'll be careful not to play too much of this because we don't want to get into any trouble.
First dunk. Oh! What's up, y'all? What it do? YouTube! Hey, man, now look. Today we got the NBA top 20 dunks of the week. The end of 2022, going into 2023. We're about to react to this. Let's get straight into the video.
So that's about 20 seconds in. Love the energy.
Yep.
Jeff, what do you think?
He didn't waste my time. So AP Antony, like, thank you. So he came in and he showed us like a quick little clip, like a little teaser. And then he brought the energy to keep us there, told us what we're going to do. And then by second 21, we're getting into the content. So that's efficiency. And I love to see it because he kept me from wanting to click off. So kudos.
Yeah. What about you, Viper?
No, I appreciate it. I mean, I've seen that dunk all over the Twitter, so I know what dunk he's referring to. And the fact that he started off with that particular dunk, well done, my dude. The cold open with that particular dunk was well done. I do kind of worry though that you are using NBA content, and like Dan said, these leagues, the NBA, NFL, MLB, they do not like creators or anybody redistributing their content. So I would be very careful with that. I know you have a fair use and different things like that, but just still be careful. Watch your back with that stuff because they will come for you if they can.
Yeah, claims can happen for sure. I've seen, actually, I'd worked with an NBA channel who's doing not only gaming NBA content, but also like this, like reactions to games and like different stuff, little different compilations, like MJ being the best or Kobe Bryant compilation, Steph Curry compilation stuff. And they were getting claims, it was happening. So that's something you have to deal with. They kept it going because AdSense wasn't their bread and butter, but it's just something to think about where, if you end up getting monetized, things of that nature, you do have to be aware that some of these videos could end up, getting restricted in a sense of monetization. But aside from that, man, yeah, I'm loving the energy, man.
Yeah. I think in terms of production quality, the only thing I'd say is, and this would be just something to work on for the future, maybe you record your camera separately from the footage we're seeing. And so that way you have a nice, clean shot of you that you can put full screen sometimes. So the part where you're doing the intro, what's up YouTube, I think that felt like it should have been full screen. But the kind of, there's just the video paused and you in the corner. So that could just be like an improvement over time that like if you can work your way up to that. I know that technically that can be kind of a thing. And then lighting as well. I think, we're just in kind of the set you're in. It doesn't feel very like basketball, just kind of a white wall. Not a lot going on. So in terms of just little production quality improvements, this could just be something you build on as we get into the new year, and you look to build up kind of your presence on YouTube.
Yeah, lighting can always be tricky too, depending on skin tones and stuff. So, because like I know myself and Viper, we fought lighting for a long time. Trying to get our lighting right took us so long. So, but that's definitely something. And there's places you can start out very, very low key, not too expensive. But I know a lot of guys that start off with, you know, just a simple ring light to kind of just add additional light into themselves. But just something to think about. But yeah, I definitely agree. A little bit of improvement in that area could definitely help, because if you look at the thumbnail, the lighting in the thumbnail is way better than what we're seeing in the video quality.
Yeah.
So I think they have the ability to do this. But just something to think about.
Yeah. Love the thumbnail, by the way. It ended his career very interesting, very catchy, like as a hook to the video. Like, oh, this is going to be something intense. I better watch this. So, yeah, keep it up. This is awesome. All right. So before we go, thank you, everybody. We're going to be back next week, aka next year. So, you know, whatever goal that you've set for yourself, best of luck to you in the new year. We have a lot of tips and tricks. YouTube has changed a lot, I think, and YouTube changes constantly, but just in the last year, it is unrecognizable. Literally, they've actually changed the physical look of YouTube. So it's just been really cool to be a part of it. And you guys are awesome. Real quick, Longo, thank you for the super. Milan says, would you consider timing limit reviews? I'm not sure what that means. A lot of live stream content is opposite of focused. How is it in the longer videos? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. If you're asking for advice on live streaming.
No. I think he's asking if we can limit the amount of time we spend reviewing people's videos and stuff like that on our live streams.
Yeah.
We physically could. We don't like to do that because sometimes a channel kind of opens the door to a really broad discussion, and we feel like everybody here can learn a lot from that. There is a tendency for people to wonder, when's my channel going to come up? And we want, generally speaking, we want our audience not to focus on that. You should be focused on the information given in the videos, regardless if it's your channel or someone else's channel. Because we've had it in the past where one channel starts like a 20-minute conversation. And we personally love that, because we feel like for the folks sitting down and taking notes and they're serious about growing on YouTube, they're learning a lot from that.
Yeah, agreed. See, it's funny because, and I'm not accusing them of this, but there is a habit of thinking, oh, you know, this is taking too long. Let's get to the next one. Everybody thinks that until it's their channel. And then time limits don't exist, right?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind and make sure you keep that same energy as well. But here's the thing: let's focus on when your channel is going to get reviewed. More focus on how can I apply the tips that are being told to this other channel and apply them to my channel, because I can see a lot of flaws that I'm committing, and you have to be honest with yourself about that. So think about that. And also, as a tip going into 2023 for everyone, let's stop focusing on getting subs.
Yep.
Let's stop focusing on subs. Let's start focusing on quality content that's going to attract views.
There you go. And then Brainspill, thank you for the super. All right. Thanks for an awesome year, everybody. We'll be back. Can't say the same about Rob. Hashtag where's Rob in the chat. Sorry, one more final jab there. And we will see you all next time.